What do all of these people have in common? Well, for starters, they have figured out how to create profitable print-on-demand products. But honestly, it's much deeper than that, because the number one thing that these people have done that has allowed them to actually become profitable with print-on-demand is that they have gotten away from some of the most saturated and low-margin products out there. Talking about things like t-shirts, mugs, hoodies, tank tops, and various other apparel products that a lot of beginners that are just starting print on demand typically try and sell. And they've also gone through my print on demand training. All of the mugs that you saw are mugs that I send to students of mine for achieving awesome sales milestones. And in this video, my goal is not to persuade you to buy anything from me. There's not even anything here that you can buy. If you look in the description, there's nothing for sale. In this video, I want to share my experience with you, and I want you to click the like button. And if you're new here, to subscribe to the channel. I upload tons of print-on-demand content on a weekly basis, so if you are someone that is just starting out or is currently running a store that might not be doing so hot, make sure to subscribe and also check out some of the videos that I've linked down in the description. I have some of my most helpful videos linked there, and if you are struggling, like I said, I think some of them could help. Now, a little over a year ago, I made this video right here. It is the most popular video on my YouTube channel, and which I'll show you in a few seconds, some people did not like the video at all. It was all about how I have found more success with print on demand by switching from some of those more low profit products and sometimes more saturated products to products that make not only a bunch more money, but are not as saturated. People in the comments said things like, don't stop selling t-shirts, but stop using Printful. You can find other print on demand suppliers that have the same printing quality and very low t-shirt prices. Someone also said it's not about the t-shirt or whatever you're selling. People buy stuff because they like your design. If they like your design, they'll spend that money. Now, before we go any further, during this video, some of you guys might be triggered. What I mean by that is I'm going to say some things that from time to time really annoy some people or get them upset because it might be contradictory to what they have learned about print on demand, or more importantly, what they are currently doing with print on demand. So I would advise you, if you are watching this video and you disagree, that's awesome. Please do two things. One is make sure to watch the whole thing, so that way you can hear all of the points that I am going to make. And then secondly, let me know down in the comments what you actually think. Don't just say, well, this guy sounds silly, he's an idiot, nobody listened to him. Actually, give me something like, let's have a dialogue here. I will go through the comments and I will respond. So in 2022, why should you consider other products than something like a t-shirt or a mug? Well, for starters, they are extremely saturated. Do me a favor, go on to a place like Amazon or Etsy and type something into the search bar that relates to what it is you want to try and sell. If you do this, you will likely see that there are going to be over 10,000, sometimes even over 100,000 results for similar products to what you are trying to do. Now, for someone like me who sells primarily on a Shopify store, why would I be interested in knowing what is available on Etsy? The reason is I want to sort of have a look into how saturated something might be before I actually spend time building out an entire store around it. You can literally go on Etsy or Amazon or even just other Shopify stores, and you can see that t-shirts are extremely saturated. Yes, you can do unlimited different things with your design, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, your t-shirt is going to be very similar to everything else out there. And for most beginners, that is going to be something that makes it very difficult for them to succeed. How do I know this? Well, not only have I been there where I was actually selling shirts. For some of you who might say, well, Joe, maybe you just sucked at selling shirts. That is just not true. One of the first profitable stores that I ever had was a t-shirt store. This was back in 2017. I actually ended up scaling the store and then selling it on the Shopify store exchange. Since then, I have switched to high profit products that are not as saturated. I also run the POD Ninjas Facebook group where there is over 46,000 print on demand store owners, and on a daily basis, I see people struggle to sell shirts. Now, the second thing that makes shirts really difficult to sell is that they are extremely low profit. Most shirts are going to cost you around $10. And then if you were going to do what most people do online, which is do free shipping, that means that you're paying about $14 for that shirt. And that means if you are pricing that product around $20 or so, that means you're going to make about $6 in profit per sale, which at the end of the day is great. If you wanted to make $1,000 in profit per month, you would have to make over 100 sales, which means you're likely going to need to use some sort of paid traffic. Because if your goal is to make hundreds of of sales on a place like Etsy or Amazon, that's going to take a long time and you're going to have to create hundreds of designs in order to actually achieve that. The shortcut though would be to use some sort of paid traffic, like a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. And in general, if you're running ads like that, you're going to spend about $11 in ad spend to actually make a sale. Now, that is not a number that I'm just pulling out of thin air. There have been countless studies done showing that on average, people are spending about $11 in ad spend to make a sale and acquire a customer. You can simply just go on Google and type in average CPA cost with Facebook ads and you will find similar data. Now, let's reference one of those comments again on the video that I uploaded last year, where someone said it's not about the product you're selling or the t-shirt, it's about the design that you're putting on it. And if people like it, they will spend that money. Now, that might be true. People may buy it, but what kind of business are you running if you're only profiting a few dollars per sale, and if you're using any sort of paid advertising where you're actually losing money per sale? And one thing in particular, he said it's not about the product you're selling. I teach a concept called niche optimization, which is essentially a way for us to really figure out who it is we're selling to and choose a product that is going to be ideal for them. I'm talking about analyzing your niche, figuring out what type of person they are, how old they are, maybe even what gender they are, and then, like I said, choosing something that is going to be a perfect match for them. Think about someone who loves to camp, for example. Of course, you could create t-shirts and hoodies and mugs with silly little designs on them that have quotes relating to camping. You could upload them to a bunch of different platforms and just sort of cross your fingers and hope that people will buy. On the flip side, you could run Facebook ads for these sort of things, and like I said before, if you're not choosing a product that is high profit enough, you are just not going to make any profits. Contrast that with the concepts around niche optimization. Let's think through who this person is that actually likes to camp. Instead of just creating a generic design for someone who likes to camp, what if we targeted families who like to camp together, and then we started to create them products that were going to allow them to showcase that? If something like what you're seeing on the screen right now started to pop up in their Facebook newsfeed, they would be infinitely more likely to purchase rather than just a silly t-shirt with a camping quote on it, even if the design is awesome. The point here is you are trying to create an impulse purchase in somebody, and by choosing better products, sometimes you can be much more likely to do that. Here's another example here. Let's talk through someone who might like to drink beer. Now, of course, you could create silly t-shirts, silly hoodies, maybe even silly mugs, make some beer lover designs with some silly quotes on it as well, and you could upload these on a place like Etsy or Amazon, or you could try your luck with Facebook ads or Instagram ads and just hope to make a couple of dollars per sale. On the flip side again, if we start thinking through exactly what niche optimization is all about and thinking about who this person actually is, we can begin to identify much better products. Odds are that someone who really likes to drink beer might have a place in their house where they like to drink beer. What if we made them products that they could use in that area? I'm talking about something like a doormat or some sort of a rug. Maybe even a lampshade, maybe even a canvas for the wall or some sort of metal sign. Of course, there are going to be lots of different types of drinkware that might appeal to this person as well, but the point here is if you're starting a print-on-demand store, why not try to choose products that people in your niche actually like? Here's another example. Let's say that you're selling to people in the military or police officers or something like that. Of course, you could create silly t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs and throw silly designs and quotes on them and just kind of cross your fingers and hope that someone might be interested. But again, you're going up against tens of thousands, sometimes even over 100,000 people that are inside of these niches selling shirts and other things like that. Wouldn't it be a much better idea to think about who your niche is and, more importantly, how they view the niche? What I mean by that is this type of person might want to showcase to others that they are a member of the niche. So why don't we create a product that allows them to do that? What about a mailbox cover that they can display proudly in front of their house? Something like this is going to stand out to them, and they're going to have not only an emotional connection to the niche, but they're also going to think to themselves, wow, that is a really cool product. I can use that in my daily life to showcase something that I am very proud of. You could do the same thing with some sort of a metal sign or a doormat or even a car seat cover that they can drive around with in their car. The goal here essentially is, and what I'm trying to teach you, is that when you are doing print on demand, the goal should not to be to just create little quirky t-shirt designs, right? Like try to create products that are actually going to appeal to real people, because that's what your customers are. They're real people. They're not just going to spend their extra money on silly t-shirts. The years of 2016 and 2017 is when that was happening because print on demand was so new. We are now going into 2022 as I am filming this, and you have to think differently about the products that you are creating. So what I want to do next is I actually want to show you a real print on demand store that does a fantastic job at creating products that are going to be perfect for the niches that they are selling to. If you remember earlier, I showed you pictures of students of mine who have done just this, where they've gotten away from shirts and they've created some really awesome products that go viral on social media, on various print-on-demand platforms, and they've absolutely been able to crush it. Like I said at the beginning, if you disagree with anything that I'm saying, let me know why down in the comments. I'd love to discuss it. So this is a store, it's called wanderprints.com. I've showed it here on the channel before, but I think it's really awesome. I think they've done a fantastic job at creating some products that are perfect for the people that they are actually selling to. What we can do on this store is we'll just hover over where it says collections at the top, and you can see that they are selling to a whole bunch of different niches here. Let's take a look at the baseball niche and see some of the products that they are offering. You can see that what they've done is really awesome. They've created some really awesome canvases, some tumblers, even some doormats down at the bottom. They've also given the customer the ability to personalize these products. And again, if we think through exactly who this person is, we can understand that a doormat is actually a great product for them. The same thing is true for someone who might like to garden. They literally have created products that the person is going to use in their garden. These are metal signs that someone can personalize and then hang up in their garden. We also have this option here, which is an awesome metal sign for someone who likes to grill and barbecue. What I would also say is if you're someone that is selling shirts and you're making sales and you're making profits, right? That's awesome. I can almost guarantee there will be someone that comments on this video that says that they are doing well with shirts. And again, I would say that's awesome. Great job. But what if you took that talent that you have, obviously you have talent, and took it to a product that makes you 3 times, 4 times, even 10 times the profit? Wouldn't you then be in a much better spot in terms of how your business is working compared to just making a couple dollars on shirts? I think in most cases you would be, and that's something to really think about, especially as we go into the year 2022. In your starting print on demand, product selection is what I think is going to be the difference maker between successful stores and stores that are really profitable and stores that might not make any sales at all, or might just make a few dollars in profit per sale. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you've watched this video this long, nice job. Let me know what you think. And I'd be interested to read through some of the comments that get left on the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.